won't stop
Believing.
Oh, my stream like
People.
Oh, Toby doesn't like it.
He didn't.
No, he got scared. So did I a little bit.
From my voice or
Just whatever the hell we were doing just now.
Just what's happening? Okay.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Just eating a string cheese.
My forehead's getting bigger as I age.
For sure.
What do you mean for sure? Is that a thing?
I mean, no.
It definitely is, though.
It looks the same unless your hairline is
big before, but not.
My forehead's the same.
I'm asking, my forehead doesn't change.
Yes, I have the same forehead. I'm gonna put that on my dating profile.
Just stagnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, there's no growth or shrinkage. So
that's great.
I don't know if that's like an attractive quality, but
oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have
someone who has the opposite. You know, that no change in forehead size is ideal.
She would be like mucho growth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't have a dating profile, but if I did,
right, you would do. Yeah. No, I got you. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if I was on dating apps.
I feel like my chair is really low.
You have what?
I feel like my chair is really low.
Oh, I thought you said something about Cheetos.
I'm growing up now. All right, go ahead.
But you can't really see your forehead.
I know. Yeah, it's much better. This looks way better for some reason. Isn't
You're like cut off though.
Would I look great?
I mean, I guess, but like I can't see the rest of your. It's like you're lying.
I know it is a lie. Yeah. That's why it's so good.
Yeah, that's
there's the reality.
Better.
I've seen worse foreheads, so that's the thing. That's why I'm not too bothered by it. Let's look at these questions. What do you say?
Yeah.
What is one thing you're good at that people don't expect? I'm really good at throwing food up in the air and catching it in my mouth. Actually, I'm good at spitting. I could spit food up out of my mouth in the air and then catch it again in my mouth. Ladies love it.
Are you with anyone? Are you single?
Not for a while. Yeah, I'm single.
Wow, that's shocking.
I don't know why.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so great for you.
It is impressive, though.
Not when you chew it and then spit it up. No, I
know. It's like gum, not like I'm not spitting it up.
Okay.
I can take gum and catch it in my mouth again. And you can't.
Okay. No, I can't.
Right.
Mine would probably be, I mean, I'm good at jiu-jitsu, but I don't know if people would expect that or not. A lot of people don't.
I wouldn't. I mean, I know, but I think objectively.
Like I'm decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good answer.
So, jiu-jitsu.
What have you been meaning to do but haven't yet done? Why haven't you done it? That question's too bossy. I don't like the tone. Have you ever felt like you were going to die? Like for real? Yeah. Do you have an answer?
Yeah.
What's yours?
So, the only thing I could think of was when I was on an airplane and the turbulence was so bad. Like, and you don't know, the pilots are so trained for emergencies that, and I have my headphones on, so I'm like high on Dramamine, and the turbulence is so bad, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like, we're gonna crash. But the pilots, they don't freak out. So you could be like, we're gonna crash in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, we're gonna crash.
We're gonna crash? What?
No, like I feel like if they had to.
Oh, if they had to announce it, that's how it would sound. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, not like that's what happened. I have my headphones on. I don't take them off.
Our plane is going down.
Yeah, we're going down. You got about 10 minutes.
And we apologize on behalf of.
If you want to talk to your loved ones at
airlines.
Yeah.
The only time in my life that I could think of right now where I thought I might actually die was a month after September 11th. There were, so after September 11th, there were like these rumors going around that something else was going to happen like exactly a month later. There's a lot of shit. Like I should specify that I was in New York,
Yeah.
going to school in Manhattan and stuff. So it was crazy. And I remember these rumors going around that something was going to happen on like October 11th. It was like the next one or whatever. And then it
Mm.
felt like a rumor, and people, I wasn't really thinking about it much. But then I was on the train on my way to school on October 11th at like, I forget what time, 8:50 or something like that, whatever time like the towers got hit. And we're like stuck in the station for a while and they're not saying anything. And I like thought about that and I was like, oh God, I hope everything's okay. Because that's what things were just like
Yeah.
all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and I looked at the time, I think at some point, and I was like, fuck. I was like, is something actually happening exactly a month later? And the conductor got on the loudspeaker and it was a lady, and I don't know what word for word what she said. I don't remember, but she was crying for sure.
Oh,
Like you could tell in her voice that she was crying and trying to like keep it together. So she was like, ladies and gentlemen, like that. And like the second that everyone was just like looking at each other like, oh my God, like this is bad. She was like, we're experiencing delays and please just stay seated or whatever.
Scary.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
But like, did she have what? So obviously she was just going through a breakup, or what?
So I think she was free. So basically what happened, we had to evacuate the train. So the front of the train, like the front of the first car of the train was in the station already, and the rest was like in the tunnel. So we all had to walk out the front of the train. But it was like the only time in my life where I got to see people like real like panic.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like people were like, none of us saw anything or heard anything for sure. So people weren't shoving each other out of the way and like running for their lives. But they were doing like this weird thing where it's like you could tell they wanted to it was like a mix between wanting to like push people out of the way and just run, but like socially they couldn't do that. So it was like this awkward, like just kind of people like bumping into it and like squeezing past each other, and just it was like totally silent.
What happened?
Nothing. I have no clue. I would love to find someone else who was on that train, because
so she was just crying for
and be like, what was that lady?
A bad day.
I think something went wrong that was unrelated to anything.
Yeah.
She got scared because that's just how it was. And it came through in her voice.
Yeah.
She thought maybe she got wrong information that another bad thing happened, and it ends up it didn't. Like all of that was going on at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. That was a scary time for sure. I mean, obviously I was in Philly, but I remember it was like second grade or something. I don't know. And we had to go home. Everybody walked home. No one knew what was going on.
Wait, what? How old were you for 9/11?
I don't know what grade I was in. Second grade?
You were in second grade. Fifth, maybe.
Wait.
I was a senior in high school. It was the beginning of my senior year.
All right. I don't know.
So you were probably like 8th grade. Or 7th. Sure. Second grade.
I don't know.
I wish you continued that story of you in second grade.
I thought, well, wait, why am I not figuring out my age? I'm like, okay.
You're like 5 years younger than me, right?
I was 12. Or 11.
Yeah, that would make sense. What was your other story?
So my other story was I was just getting into hiking, and me and Mel, we went hiking. What?
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Okay. We went hiking, and we're going up this rock. We've already been hiking for like 2 miles or so, which obviously is nothing, but it was all uphill. So she goes up this hill and she goes, oh my God, Ash, there's a bear. There's a bear. There's a bear. So what you're not supposed to do is run. So what we do is run, because in that moment you're like,
bear.
Oh, it's a fucking bear. And I remember running so hard and like thinking that this bear was going to catch
the bear.
Us. I didn't see it. But
was there a bear?
Well, I trusted Mel that there was a bear there. So look, I
guess I would trust, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I trusted her, and booked it. And then we stopped running. But in the midst of running, I was like, oh my God, this is how I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to get mauled by a bear.
Because you could have, yeah.
I could have.
That's what it is. That's like what with mine too. It was like, this is like, it's a very realistic, like, wait, this, I actually could possibly die from this in this.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is it.
Why did you, who started running first, you or Mel?
I think I did because she was like, oh, there's a bear. And I was like, fuck.
Like without even thinking about what it is, just
yeah, I'm just like, I'm running because I'm gonna outrun this bear. And luckily it was probably just eating berries. Like, I don't give a shit about you two because there's black bears. Like, I don't think we don't have grizzlies or anything. I think that's
brown, but yeah, brown ones are the dangerous.
Yeah, brown ones are the bad ones. I think that the black ones are the ones you can cuddle with. Like, those are the ones you're like, and then you give them like berries.
I don't think you could cuddle with any of them, unfortunately.
I'm not cuddle, but like,
I would want to, but I don't think you can.
You could probably like,
you could sedate them.
So we got home, we looked up what to do in a bear attack. This is what you do in a bear attack.
Mm-hmm.
You get real big.
And you go, ah!
Yeah. And or you go like, hey bear, and you back away. Well, you don't have to back away, you just have to like walk slowly. So like, get big, say, hey bear.
Yeah.
And walk slowly wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
So sometimes if I'm like hiking alone,
so like counterintuitive to be like, oh, here's something I'm afraid of. Let me draw attention to myself. Like it's weird. You know what I mean?
You gotta get big. You gotta pretend you're big.
But it probably feels weird in the moment, I would imagine.
Yeah, because I'm only 5'2". Yeah. How much bigger am I gonna get with putting my hands out? Not much.
Is there anything you can recite from memory? I mean, I hope there's at least a couple things like the alphabet and stuff, but
alphabet.
You know the alphabet?
Barely. Like kind of.
Sing it, you can do it.
Yeah, but don't put that in here. Don't put that in there. So,
let's go.
Friends. The show. I mean, me and my best friend Sophia watched Friends all the time, where I can just recite.
You know, like what's coming next. Yeah. Mine is Little Mermaid movie.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Although I haven't done it in a really long time, so I feel like if I was like tested on it right now, I'd probably mess up a couple times. But I definitely know.
I want to be where the people are.
Yes, that's the one. What did you want to be when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grew up?
A veterinarian.
Oh, that's the first thing.
You go.
What? Mine. So
no, yeah, a veterinarian. I wanted to be a veterinarian, and now I work with animals.
Childhood.
Yeah.
Or did it change? Really?
Yeah, my whole childhood. When I grew up, I realized how much schooling they needed.
How much?
Probably in the teenage years. How much schooling?
Oh yeah, I know.
And I said, nah, and then I wanted to be an ultrasound tech. And now I'm an ultrasound tech for animals.
I do what I want to do. Yeah. My forehead doesn't change size.
Damn straight. You're just projecting. You're projecting.
I look like an owl. Is it owls that do that? Without my body moving?
That's
creepy. Look at that. Right?
What about you?
I'm busy, Ashley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to be a comedian, but I think I was saying that because people told me that. You know, you do that with little kids, like because I was pretty funny early on. And my dad was funny.
Yeah.
I'm saying it started early. And my dad was funny, and people who knew my family knew I took after my dad.
Yeah.
So I think people would tell me like, oh, this one's a comedian or whatever. You know how people do that with little kids. So I think I was just repeating it back. But I do remember like calling myself a comedian and telling people I was a comedian when I was like 3.
Nice.
It's kind of, interesting.
But like, what did you want to be like later on?
What?
What did you want to be later on, or what did it just like stick and you were like, okay, now I have to be a comedian?
I remember once I learned what voice acting was, I remember wanting to do that pretty young, like
give us an accent
and stuff like that. No, just like the voices of cartoons. I like the idea, and I still do, the idea that you can like be an actor and not like be famous and not have people recognize you.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember wanting to be an astronaut at some point.
What's your favorite color?
I think they're all pretty good. What's your favorite color?
Seafoam green.
Mm, mermaid. It's a very girly answer, though it is, but it is also a really nice color. Like, I think it's a common answer. It's a basic bitch answer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a basic.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What's the most recent thing that made you cry?
Well, you want to get real sad or like a funny thing?
Yeah. No,
Real
I mean,
sad.
answer it truthfully, and then we'll just move on.
My friend died, and
that's right.
he was a veterinarian, and last Friday was the first time I went to his office.
Mm.
And I walked in, and there was a memorial for him. I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, I'm fine, I'm fine. I walked up to the building. I'm like, I'm fine. I walk in, I see the memorial, and I lost. There's people in the waiting room. I just walked to the back. I'm hysterical.
Yeah. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, just not good.
My last time I cried, are we talking like a real like big cry, or just like getting tears in your eyes, like getting teary and being like, "Whoo, okay, I'm not gonna." So last time, if you include just getting teary eyed, would be the beginning of Wicked. So I was watching Wicked. I put on Wicked on for my mom again because she watches it all the time.
Yeah.
And there's like music in the beginning that goes da 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 da. It's just like the orchestration in the beginning. And it's the same as in the show. And I'm a big fan of the show, and I've seen it like a million times, years and years ago, and listened to the soundtrack a million times. So something about like that da, 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 makes me like excited, like, oh, I'm seeing Wicked, because I'm so used to. That's like when everything starts and like the curtains open and everything, and it's like, yeah, that something, and it's probably has some musical thing to it that I don't understand. Also, that happens. Like,
yeah,
formula wise, music is just weird. And then, so when I saw it in theaters for the first time, I teared up at that part too. And then for whatever reason, recently again when I heard it, but it wasn't like it's like a good,
yeah,
like a good,
yeah,
whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to go to the emergency room? Why?
Well, one time, yeah. I don't know what happened. I was like running after my friend, and I felt like I stubbed my toe. And I was like, what the hell? But then there was like blood everywhere. So I took my sock off, and my big toe was like half off. So
your nail or your toe?
No, my toe.
What?
So I had to get like 7 stitches in my toe. I have a huge scar from like the front to.
From what? I don't understand.
I don't know what happened. I was running, I tripped, and then my toe came off. I don't know.
I feel like I've been to the emergency room a lot. Like, thankfully not for anything that serious.
Serious. Yeah, you're just like, I have a headache.
The most recent,
and they're like, ma'am,
one was when I got punched in the face. I had to get stitches. I like saying, I'm not even going to explain it on here, but I'll leave it. And the last time I went to the emergency room was when I got punched in the face. I'm not telling the story, but I will say that I was at work at the time when it happened, which just makes it sound even crazier than it actually.
Yeah.
What's your love language?
Ooh, that's a good one. So my love language is.
Wait, what do you know the 4 of them? Because I always forget.
Yeah, there's 5 actually.
5, yeah. What are they?
So it's quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, and acts of service. Those are the top 5 love languages. So mine is quality time.
And that's how you. So quality. So that's how you show love, or how you want to receive it, or
how I want to receive love. But I also show love with quality time. Like I will be like, hey, what do you want to do for your birthday? Like I'm more of a, do you want to go on an adventure? Like if a person wants gifts and that's their love language, then obviously I'll do that. Right, but I also show love. Yeah. I do find it interesting when people have different like they have love languages, but then it's different for when they're giving, because mine's the same for giving and receiving,
You would think
unless
it
they
would be
know
the
that.
same, but wait, are mine a little different? I feel like they are. I would say there is a little bit of a difference for mine in that I don't care at all about words of affirmation, because if I could tell the person loves me like from their
Yeah.
actions, they don't have to say it to me. I'm one of those. But I am very verbal about it myself to them. So I guess
Okay.
that's like a difference. But you said your main one, all right, so
So
quality
my
time and then
two,
physical touch.
yeah, when I did the quiz, physical touch and quality time, which makes sense. I think like words of affirmation and then acts of service and gifts were 0. Like I don't like gifts unless it's something that I'm like, hey, I've wanted this for like years. Like, don't buy me something random. I'd rather do
I,
something. Like,
I
okay,
almost
let's
feel
go
like
on a
gifts
trip.
shouldn't be on there.
Well, I think
Right?
receiving gifts, yeah, yeah, because it all goes back to like childhood, right? What we didn't receive a lot of times. This is what my
Yeah.
therapist said, what we didn't receive. So if people, their love language is receiving gifts or giving gifts, it's because they didn't get it as a child. So then they feel loved when their parents give them gifts. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That makes sense. It's weird that it's its own category though. Gifting. I
that's
don't know why. I feel like it's different than the other ones. You said so. Your second one is physical touch. You said.
I'd probably say
That was
quality
like
time and physical touch are like both up there. Yeah, because
yeah.
I like physical touch. I like cuddling. I like holding hands. I like, just like little touches throughout the day. And then obviously quality time is super important.
I would say one of the ones that's like 0 for me is quality time, which sounds funny because obviously I need quality time with my
That
partner.
sounds hysterical. So
But
you just don't
no,
want to be.
I need a normal amount of it. It's not like a thing that's super important to me.
Okay.
Like if everything was going great and like my partner was really busy, um, or we saw each other, when we can, but we didn't plan stuff like you're saying,
Yeah.
I think I would be better. I would be okay with that more than your average person. Like it just really isn't a thing
I can definitely see that for you. Yeah. But it's not
as long as
0.
everything else is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
I
again,
just
it's
don't.
not, you can't have a relationship and not see the person.
Right,
So it's not
exactly. That's what
0.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
yeah.
I get
It's
what you're
not
saying.
something that I find myself thinking about or like I really need or oh maybe yeah. I just don't. It's not a thing really.
Yeah.
Unless I wasn't seeing them enough in general, in which case that would just be a problem in your relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say mine is physical touch for sure. That's the most obvious one. And then it's kind of, I don't know if it's tied. I find that acts of service is a big one for me because it's you just want to like do things for the person and help them. And that's
Yeah.
what I know because physical touch is still the winner for me
Yeah.
because I could
Physical
be
touch,
super
quality time is probably like tied.
mushy,
Yeah.
mushy little
Mm,
baby. Hang on. I'm still here.
okay.
You too, though. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I like acts of service and words of affirmation. Words of affirmation are,
I don't care about the words for some reason.
well, I care because probably I didn't get it as a child. So
Maybe
like,
because
tell me about
I
me
did
then.
get it as a child. No, I think you're right. I got told that I love you a lot by my mom
So that's,
because she's like
and
expressive
you're
and
like, I know
Italian.
my mom loves me. Yeah. Italian.
That's interesting. It's so weird. Like they say from 0 to 7 in your life, years old, is like affects everything after that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
My
why
niece just turned
therapy.
8, and I was like, yes, like we're good. Not that it has a cutoff like that, but that's what I was
Like
thinking.
anything that happens
Like,
after this,
okay, we could relax now.
which isn't true because I have trauma from my teenage years.
Yeah, but it would have
But
been worse if it was between 0 and 7.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but anything under 18, I think, is gonna fuck with you a little bit.
Yeah, because you don't know how to handle it, and that's why I speak a lot on my TikTok about this, about childhood trauma, about going to therapy, learning how your trauma affected you, and then like reframing it, like
Hmm.
learning your triggers, and so you're aware of them, and then so you can learn about them, learn how to change the behavior, or kind of regulate your nervous system and be a better person for you so you can be a better partner.
Yeah. It's tricky stuff. What do you fear despite having no real reason to do so? What is an irrational fear that you have? I have a ton. Basically, I'm afraid, I'm at least a little bit afraid of anything that looks like a human being that is not alive. So, like, you know, those like wax museums
Oh yeah.
for people. Like, I could go to one and I would appreciate it because I think it's impressive, but like, I would feel freaked out standing next to them.
Mm,
Rationally, I know nothing's gonna happen, and I still would be like, because like I'm legit afraid of them, which makes no
yeah.
sense. There was a Santa Claus, like a life-size Santa Claus in the grocery store when I took my mom, and he wasn't even scary looking, you know, 'cause some certain things are creepier looking
Yes.
than others, especially with faces, human faces. And his wasn't. He was like friendly Santa looking, but he was the correct proportions and size of like a person, and I didn't like it.
You know, come to think of it, since you said that, I'm afraid not. I don't like porcelain dolls.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
if they're yes, they're terrifying. If they're in a house, I'm like, they're gonna come alive and kill me. They're conspiring right now to
yeah,
murder me.
they will though. So that's actually not irrational. That's
True.
everyone should have the fear of porcelain dolls.